Welcome to today's video. We are about to witness extremely intense moments where just one small mistake could lead to disastrous consequences. Every decision, every action can be the difference between safety and danger. Always stay alert, be cautious, and never underestimate the risks on the road. Ignored the sign. Turn left when the arrow was still red, just as the art bus was coming. Result? A huge collision. Both vehicles heavily damaged. An expensive lesson in obeying signals. The SUV pulling the camper suddenly turned, causing the camper to zoom violently. Result? The camper overflowed in the middle of the road, but the SUV was lucky to stand. Lost control in the middle of the roundaway. The car suddenly lost control, ran through the roundabout, and crashed hard into another oncoming vehicle. Result? Heavily damaged front of the car. The white car desperately escaped. The police followed closely behind. After many consecutive rams, the white car hardly collided into the roadside barrier and was forced to stop. The truck carrying a huge iron bars without cover suddenly stopped in the middle of the road to change direction. At that moment, a car rapidly rushed towards it, colliding head-on. The result? The roof of the car is crushed in a jiffy. The truck with a crane did not pay attention to the height, trying to pass, but hardly crashed into an iron pole across the road. The result? The iron pole broken in two, almost causing a disaster. Ran 3 lanes, braked the electric booth, and then crushed straight into a gas station. Before stopping, the vehicle crushed a parked car. The pickup truck loses control, crashes straight into a gas pump, causing a massive explosion. Miraculously, the driver escapes without any injuries.
What the?
A person carrying a huge bunch of balloons suddenly falls, causing the balls to rub against the road and explode in a fierce fire. Luckily, the driver gets up himself and crawls out of the fire. The SUV swings to avoid the collision, but due to not paying attention, crashes into another car, then flips over onto the road. At the same time, the motorcycle that recorded the scene also brakes to avoid the collision, causing the driver to fall off onto the road. The garbage truck suddenly running through the bushes, then crashing into 2 European luxury cars, destroying them in an empty day. The concrete mixer truck hardly collisioned under the bridge, causing the bridge to break in two just as a small car was approaching. Luckily, the driver braked in time, causing tons of concrete to only crush on the front of the car, avoiding a tragedy. It seems the driver lost control, causing the car to ride straight into a roadside barbershop, destroying the storefront. Luckily, the people inside were not injured. The driver of the car lost control because he was drunk, ride straight into a parked minivan. Consequences: 3 people injured due to reckless actions, an expensive lesson about alcohol behind the wheel. A kind driver stops to make way for a turtle, but that causes a series of cars behind to suddenly brake. The result? A truck doesn't react in time, causing a multiple accident. A breathtaking chase in Indiana. A drama ends in chaos. Many vehicles are damaged, police officers with guns, and a suspect captured.
Jesus!
The container suddenly loses control, crashes straight into a traffic light, causing the light pole to broken in line and collapse onto the road. At that moment, a woman on a motorbike passes by. But lucky, the light pole only falls after a few seconds. A close call. The Audi R8 straightens into a tree after losing control on a small curve. But that's not all. Debris from the collision causes a big bike to swerve and crash. The white car risked to cross the tracks even though the barrier was down. But at that moment, a train comes in, hits the car so hard that it flies far. The front is crushed. Miraculously, no one was injured. A street stunt gone wrong. Footage captures a speeding car balancing on 2 wheels before losing control and crashing straight into a Starbucks in Walpole. The impact shatters glass and turns the coffee shop into chaos. Luckily, no one was hurt. A nightmare stop. Oklahoma police pulled over a vehicle for a routine check, only to get rammed by another car out of nowhere. The collision turned a simple traffic stop into a scene of total chaos. A rescue operation turned disaster. A service team tried to lift an 18-wheeler back into place, but instead they flipped it over again, sealing the fate of the unlucky cars parked below. If the goal was more damage, then congratulations. Mission accomplished. Florida police didn't wait around. A SWAT team stormed in and arrested a man accused of threatening to kill a coworker. The The operation was swift, with no injuries reported, but the suspect is about to learn a hard lesson. Making death threats is never a good idea, especially when it's the police knocking at your door. The horrifying moment when the pickup truck driver hit a piece of ice at high speed, causing the car to lose its control and spin 360 degrees on the highway. Lucky, the driver was able to control the steering wheel in time, avoiding a catastrophic accident. A Chilean firefighting plane on a low-altitude mission hit a power pole on Highway 5 near Talca Mall Province, causing the right wing to crash, the plane quickly catching fire and crashing to the ground, burning intensely. The black car turned right on the green light, but suddenly a motorbike from the opposite lane speed up, lost control of its speed, and hits hard, causing the car to spin out on the road. Propane tank was leaking right on the passenger seat, but the driver had no idea. The moment he turned the key, the explosion tore through the truck, but miraculously, the man survived against all odds and rushed out to safety. Tires skidding, driver losing control, tension through the roof, but miraculously, the truck regained balance and police got out just in time, narrowly avoiding disaster. A boat-carrying truck suddenly stops on the train track, for reasons unknown. Seconds later, a speeding train smashes into it, turning both the truck and the boat into a mangled wreck. A car loses control, jumps onto the sidewalk, and nearly runs over a pedestrian and two young men standing outside their workplace. Luckily, all three escape in the nick of time. PKP Polski Linii Kolejowe, SA, has created a realistic simulation of a train engine colliding with a railway crossing carriage. A must-watch video, a powerful warning about railway safety. A steam locomotive derails shortly after departure. Fortunately, there are no serious damages or injuries. Three people were sitting inside their home when out of nowhere, a truck smashed through the wall. The most shocking part? They remained unbelievably calm despite the chaotic scene. Michigan State Police released intense footage of a high-speed chase. A patrol car slammed into a stolen SUV, sending it flipping and crashing hard into a wall. A no-nonsense ending, and probably the final chapter for this reckless getaway. A rescue turned disaster. As a man attempted to winch a car onto a tow truck, the cable snapped, sending the vehicle rolling backwards out of control. Next time, maybe check the cable first, before turning a rescue into an unintended chase scene. A high-speed chase turned into a fireball on a 180. A teenage driver slammed into a truck at an insane speed, causing the car to explode upon impact. Flames erupted in an instant, turning the pursuit into a nightmare scene. A brutal ending and a harsh reminder that running from the police rarely ends well. A freak accident. A slow-moving, low-profile forklift unintentionally collided with a parked container truck, flipping over in the process. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the driver will likely never forget the importance of keeping a safe distance. A heart-stopping moment. Video captures a speeding car, tearing through a parking lot, and crashing into a beauty salon in Chandler, Arizona. Narrowly missing a customer casually scrolling on their phone in the lobby. A few inches difference, and this story could have ended very differently. Dashcam footage captures the terrifying moment when a truck suddenly crashes into a concrete divider, tipping dangerously toward two motorcycles carrying 4 people. In a split second, they veer sharply to escape, barely avoiding disaster. The vehicle was violently shaking while in motion, most likely due to a mechanical failure. Losing control like that on the road is extremely dangerous. Just a single moment of instability could lead to a catastrophic accident. An F-35 fighter jet crashed at Eielson Air Force Base, Alaska, plunging freely onto the runway and seemingly destroyed upon impact. Fortunately, the pilot ejected just in time and escaped safely. A terrifying moment as a speeding car launches off a tow ramp at full throttle, soaring 120 feet into the air before crashing into another vehicle. Georgia State Police confirmed that a 21-year-old woman from Tallahassee was severely injured but miraculously survived. A deer suddenly slams into the front door of a bus in Pennsylvania, USA, bursting inside. Panicked and disoriented, it thrashes around frantically, causing chaos inside the vehicle, heart-stopping. A Spitfire aircraft suffers a critical failure and plunges to the ground moments after takeoff during an air show in northeast France, sending spectators into panic. A reckless bus driver tries to beat the barrier at the last second but stops right before the crossing, with the rear of the bus still on the tracks. As the train approaches, passengers flee in panic. Just seconds later, impact. Incredibly, no one was injured. A shocking video captures the split-second escape of a driver in Ohio, just before a train smashes into his truck. When rescue teams arrive, they find nothing but a wreckage zone in northern Dayton. Dashcam footage shows a truck driver struggling with the steering wheel as the truck's front bounces wildly at high speed. Eventually, he confesses to local police and gets fined for overloading, putting everyone on the road at risk. Terrifying footage captures the moment a car suddenly crashes straight into a bubble tea shop. Miraculously, 2 customers inside escape by inches from what could have been a disaster. A pickup truck towing a trailer attempts to cross the railway tracks, but fate had other plans as an oncoming train smashes into it, making the collision unavoidable. An 18-wheeler in Texas lost control, barreling through the overpass barrier like a scene straight out of an action movie. Except this wasn't a movie. The massive truck plummeted onto the road below, erupting into flames. Tragically, the driver did not survive. A harsh reminder. The highway leaves no room for error. 2 seconds between life and death. A dramatic video captures the heart-stopping moment a fighter jet pilot ejects just seconds before his plane erupts into flames. The fire consumes the aircraft in the blink of an eye. A moment too late, and the story would have ended very differently. A split-second escape. A motorcyclist narrowly avoids getting caught in a high-speed highway crash, swerving just in time, like a scene from an action thriller. A little luck, a little instinct, and most definitely, a lesson in staying alert on the road. A runaway SUV crashes straight into a power pole in San Pedro, turning the impact into a city-wide blackout show. Fortunately, the driver walked away unharmed, but next time they might want to check the brakes before challenging the sturdiest object on the road. 2 residents chatting in front of their home narrowly escaped disaster when a sand truck suddenly tipped over. Tons of sand came crashing down just inches away, a split-second difference, and they could have been buried alive. A slow-moving truck ahead. The Audi driver impatiently decides to overtake but misjudges, clipping the truck's rear. The car spins out of control, flips multiple times, and slams into a parked vehicle. A nearby pedestrian, stunned, drops everything and runs for safety. Running a red light, 2 cars collide head-on in a violent crash in London, Ontario, Canada. A heart-stopping moment that left onlookers stunned. How on earth are these vehicles even allowed on the road? A wheel suddenly detaches while driving. How can road safety be guaranteed with such conditions? A container truck suddenly tilts dangerously while in motion, nearly toppling onto a nearby car. Luckily, both vehicles escaped. Disaster by inches. A moose suddenly dashes across the road, colliding with a vehicle and being flung into the air before crashing onto the pavement. Miraculously, the animal gets back up and walks away after the brutal impact. The BMW suddenly turned on the right turn signal right at the turn, causing the car in the same direction to not be able to avoid, collided violently, flipped over, and ran on 2 wheels. Lucky, the crossover driver was able to regain balance and stop the vehicle safely. The video captured the moment the McLaren crossed the pedestrian crossing right at the yellow light, while the Honda Civic rushed into the intersection at high speed. Neither driver had time to notice each other, causing the Civic to crash hard into McLaren's front. Both cars were seriously damaged.
Are you guys involved in it at all? No, it's just a friend. We're just helping. Okay, alright. Yep.
Due to lack of vision, colliding with a car that was cutting across. As a result, the white car running straight into a parked car, pushing the car up onto the sidewalk. A young man driving a motorbike stopped while trying to overtake a car, just as a truck coming in the opposite direction. Losing control, he slid and falls right into the wheels of the truck. Lucky, the truck driver steered in time, avoiding a tragedy. Drunk in a drunk speed, the Suzuki Swift driver, drunkly, on the road. But when he reached the roundabout, hits the bumper, then suddenly flies up in the air, disappearing from sight. An unbelievable accident. But the train is coming. The result? The last train car hit the front of the tractor, causing not only the tractor to fall, but the truck to overflow as well. The car suddenly turned without signaling, causing the truck behind to not react in time. The result? A small collision, but both cars ran to the curb, causing the truck to knock down the electric pole. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss more exciting content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.